In the tranquil embrace of familiar neighborhood, where the laughter of children often danced on the gentle breeze and the rhythmic whir of bicycle wheels marked the carefree passage of time, a young boy named Jamal was immersed in the simple joy of a solo bike ride. The sun, a benevolent orb in the azure expanse above, cast long, playful shadows that stretched and shrunk with each turn of his pedals. He navigated the familiar sidewalks with the practiced ease of youth, his heart light, his spirit unburdened by the complexities that often shadow the adult world. Suddenly, the ordinary cadence of his afternoon was disrupted. A vehicle, marked with the authoritative insignia of law enforcement, approached and halted beside him. A uniformed police officer emerged, his demeanor official, his gaze fixed on Jamal. The officer's voice, though perhaps intended to be neutral, carried an undertone that immediately shifted the atmosphere from one of lightheartedness to one of apprehension. He stated that Jamal matched the description of a suspect involved in a recent incident. Jamal, though surprised and a flicker of unease stirring within him, maintained his composure. He spoke clearly, his voice steady despite the sudden intrusion. He informed the officer that his father was a member of the Special Forces, a detail he offered not as a shield or a boast, but as a simple fact of his life, a part of his identity. He likely hoped this information would offer some context, perhaps dispel any immediate assumptions. However, the officer's reaction was not one of understanding or reassurance. Instead, a note of skepticism laced his reply, and a hint of mockery colored his tone. He seemed dismissive of Jamal's statement, perhaps finding it incongruous with his preconceived notions or the situation at hand. This response, tinged with disbelief, began to prick at the young boy's sense of fairness and dignity. Just as the situation threatened to escalate, an unexpected arrival broke the tension. A sleek, black sport utility vehicle glided to a stop nearby with an air of quiet authority. From the vehicle emerged a figure who commanded immediate attention. It was Jamal's father. His presence was striking. Tall and powerfully built, he was clad in his distinguished military uniform, the fabric crisp, the insignias gleaming with quiet pride. His bearing spoke of discipline and strength, and his gaze, as it settled upon the scene before him, was unwavering. He approached the officer with a measured stride, his expression a carefully controlled mass of concern and resolve. Without uttering a word, he reached into an inner pocket and produced his military identification, presenting it to the officer. The card, bearing the official seals and markings of his service, spoke volumes, a silent testament to his profession and his integrity. The effect was immediate. The officer, confronted with the tangible evidence of Jamal's father's identity and his distinguished service, visibly shifted his demeanor. The skepticism that had marked his earlier interaction dissolved, replaced by a dawning realization of his error. The gravity of the situation, the potential for injustice, seemed to weigh upon him. He quickly moved to rectify his mistake, his movements now swift and apologetic as he removed the handcuffs that had been placed on Jamal. The metallic click of the releasing cuffs echoed in the sudden stillness, a stark reminder of the unwarranted detention. With the immediate crisis averted, a palpable sense of relief washed over Jamal, yet the sting of the encounter lingered. Father and son turned and began to walk towards their home, the unspoken weight of the incident hanging heavy in the air between them. The familiar surroundings now seemed subtly altered, tainted by the brief but impactful intrusion of prejudice. As they walked, a quiet conversation unfolded. Jamal's father, his voice a low rumble of reassurance and understanding, spoke to his son about the complexities of the world, the biases that unfortunately still existed within society. He explained, in words a young boy could grasp, that sometimes people made assumptions based on appearances, and that these assumptions were often unfair and untrue. Jamal listened intently, his earlier apprehensions slowly giving way to a deeper understanding. He absorbed his father's words, recognizing the underlying message of resilience and the importance of knowing one's own worth, regardless of the perceptions of others. His father's military service, a source of pride, had ironically become a point of contention in this encounter, yet it ultimately served as a catalyst for the officer's change of heart. The walk home became a moment of shared understanding, a silent acknowledgement of the challenges they might face in a world that didn't always see them clearly. It was a conversation not just of words, but of shared experience, a bond forged in the face of adversity. They spoke of the need to remain strong, to hold on to their dignity, and to never let the ignorance of others diminish their sense of self. Reaching their doorstep, the physical tension of the encounter began to dissipate, replaced by the quiet comfort of home and family. Yet, the lessons learned during that brief but significant bike ride would undoubtedly remain with Jamal, shaping his understanding of the world and his place within it. The incident served as a stark reminder that appearances could be deceiving and that true character lay far beyond the surface. It was a moment that underscored the importance of identity, the power of truth, and the unwavering strength of the bond between a father and his son in navigating complexities of life. The quiet neighborhood, once a simple backdrop to a carefree afternoon, now held the echo of a profound lesson learned, a lesson etched not in words, but in the shared silence and knowing glances between a father and a son. The journey home, though short in distance, had been a significant one, a passage through a moment of injustice towards a deeper understanding of the world and the enduring power of family.